Hey guys, I'm Jason Brubaker. I'm the writer and artist and creator and self-publisher of Phobos and Remind and Cithra. I drew all my life, ever since I could remember. I loved to tell stories and comic strips. When I was 11 years old, I got published in the local paper. When I was in high school, I got published nationwide by a small comic publisher, and I was picked up by a storyboarding agency called Famous Frames. I worked on hundreds and hundreds of commercials and storyboards and movies. For about 6 years, I worked with lots of different directors. It was a huge education for me, just realizing how these different directors directed, and it was really eye-opening to just see all the different approaches. And that actually opened up the door for me to start directing and art directing animation. I was the person who would put together a team of animators and art direct it and sometimes direct it. Eventually we hired James Baxter to animate a character for one of the commercials I was art directing. It was super fun working with someone at such a high level. And then what happened is, about a year later, he hired me to help him work on the intro to this movie called Kung Fu Panda. So I was one of the two compositors and background animators who helped James Baxter animate that dream sequence of Kung Fu Panda 1. Then that led in through the back door of DreamWorks, and I ended up getting a job doing visual development for Kung Fu Panda 2 and 3 and a bunch of other movies. But the whole time I was working on this stuff, I was also working on my first graphic novel, Remind. And as it was coming out and as the audience was growing, I realized that telling my own stories was really the thing that excited me. And so I decided that it was time to quit Hollywood, quit the industry, and just focus on my graphic novels full time. And so I left LA. It didn't just happen overnight, though. It's because as I was putting this stuff online, I started growing a following and growing an audience. And then when Kickstarter came out, I was able to raise funds with Kickstarter, which convinced me that maybe I could do this on my own. After that, I worked on relaunching my book Phobos, and I ended up creating about 300 pages, packaged it together into a hardcover graphic novel. When I published the first book, I just didn't know if it would find an audience. I put all of my skill and knowledge of storytelling from my career into it to relaunch it. And so I thought I had something good, but I didn't know if it was just for me. And so I put it out there as an experiment. And the response was overwhelmingly positive. I've gotten more requests to continue Phobos than any of my other graphic novels. And so that to me was a testament that I should complete Phobos. And so I'm happy to say that there's going to be 3 volumes, and I finished the second volume. I'm working on the third one right now.